Supervisor Overview, presented by the Office of the Boone County Clerk.
Hi, I'm Brianna Lennon, your Boone County Clerk. My office is in charge of administering all elections in Boone County, and we want to thank you for taking on the supervisor role at the polls this election to help make sure that every voter can make their voice heard in Boone County. Supervisors serve as the managers of our polling locations. We depend on you to ensure that election laws are being followed, to protect the rights of eligible voters, to provide for the security of our election process by following all checklists and making sure that all voters get the correct ballot, and to help assist any voters with disabilities or special needs, to provide courteous service for everyone that comes into our polling locations to make sure it's a positive and uplifting experience for all voters.
In so much of what we do, supervisors set the tone. The way you treat voters will set the tone for how your poll workers interact with voters, so be sure you're making them feel welcomed with excellent customer service. The most important thing to remember is that you are not alone. If you ever have a question or problem at the polls, we want you to call our office. That's what we're here for. We don't want you to make up an answer to a question from a voter or a poll worker. We don't expect you to know everything, but we do expect you to know to call us when you're unsure of the right thing to do. Pre-election day duties. The majority of your responsibilities will occur on election day, but there are a few things you'll need to do in the days leading up to the election. About 1 to 2 weeks before election day, you'll receive an email with your polling place assignment. This email will include contact information for your assigned polling place and contact information for all the judges assigned to your location. As soon as you receive this email, you'll need to contact the other supervisor to coordinate who will contact your polling place to arrange entry to the building and what time you can set up on Monday, the day before the election, who will contact your team of judges to let them know the setup time for Monday and any other information about your polling place, and who will pick up the election supplies from our elections warehouse on Monday before you meet to set up. Communication is extremely important for the success of Election Day, so please be diligent in making your contacts as soon as possible. If you have any trouble getting in touch with your polling place or any of your judges, please let our office know immediately. Supply pickup. Monday, day before Election Day. On Monday, the day before the election, before you head to set up your polling place, one of the supervisors must pick up the election supplies from our elections warehouse, located at 2111 East County Drive in Columbia. You'll receive instructions in your polling place assignment email on how to schedule your pickup time, as it is by appointment only. When you arrive at the elections warehouse, you'll receive the ballots for your polling place and some other supplies you'll need on election day. The pickup process should take about 30 minutes. The supervisor who does supply pickup will receive additional pay. The large election equipment, including the poll pads, the DS200, and the express vote, and other large signs and boxes, will be dropped off at your polling place on Monday morning by our delivery team, so you won't need to worry about transporting anything too big in your car. Polling place setup. Monday, day before Election Day. When you meet your team of judges at your polling place for setup on Monday, you'll follow the Monday setup checklist to assign tasks and make sure you've prepped your location with everything you'll need on Tuesday. Once your team has finished setting up, make sure you call our office to let us know you're done. Setup should be done by 5 p.m. if possible, so that you can all go home and get some sleep. Whichever supervisor picked up the ballots must take them home overnight. They need to take home the blue bags that contain the ballots, the red bag, and the paper backup box. Bring everything inside your home. Don't leave anything in your car, so that the ballots don't absorb any humidity, which may cause issues with the DS200. Election Day. Opening the polls. On Election Day morning, all poll workers must arrive at the polling place between 4:30 and 5 a.m. The required start time changes based on the size of the election, so check your assignment email to know what time you're supposed to be there. The supervisors should begin the day by using the poll opening checklist, which is a master checklist of all poll opening tasks. Plan to be done by 5:55 a.m. at the latest, so that you're ready for your first voter at 6 a.m. sharp. The first thing you will do will be to have all judges read and sign the election judge oath and fill out their payroll forms. Then, all judges must witness the opening of the blue bags, which contain the ballots. The supervisor who did not take the ballots home must be the one to cut the seal and open the bags, in order to verify that the ballots have not been tampered with. Voter issues. As the manager of the polling place, we depend on you to de-escalate situations when voters might be upset. Tensions are high, and there is a greater focus on elections than any other time in recent memory. Any hiccup in the process can put people on edge because they want to make sure they can cast their vote. If a situation arises where there is an issue with the voter, step away from the main voting area to speak to the voter. That way, other voters can continue to be processed while the situation is resolved. Assure the voter that you're going to do your best to solve their issue. De-escalation will be very important on Election Day. There are a few easy steps you can take to lead a situation away from confrontation. The first thing you need to do is remain calm. If you feed off the voter's frustration, the situation will unnecessarily escalate. Do your best to relax, breathe, and keep a cool head. Remember, it's not personal. The voter is upset at the issue, and that comes off as them being upset at you. Second, validate the voter. Listen and do your best to understand where they are coming from and why they are frustrated. We want to assure the voter that we understand and are doing our best to correct the situation. Avoid playing the blame game. Focus on finding a solution to the issue instead of placing blame on the voter, our office, or the law. Third, inform the voter of their options. Your polling place will be provided green sheets that you can give to voters that explain voters' rights and what they can do if there is an issue with their voter registration. Many issues can be resolved with a simple call to our office. Never send a voter away without giving them the information on what they need to do to be able to vote. Equipment issues. If there are any issues with your equipment, please notify our office immediately. Many of the issues that you may encounter can be resolved over the phone, so please call us first so that we can talk you through what to do. If we need to, we'll send a tech out to your polling place to fix the equipment. Incident reports. For any issues that happen on Election Day, whether it's an equipment malfunction or a voter complaint, please fill out an incident report. These forms are located inside the incident reports bag in the red bag. We will need documentation of any incident that occurred on Election Day. Also, make sure to call our office to report any incidents as soon as they happen. Poll worker management. As a supervisor, you are the frontline manager of the poll workers assigned to your polling place. When you assign tasks to your judges, try to take into account their abilities and preferences. Monitor your judges for competence and compliance with procedures, and correct them when necessary. Remember, you set the tone. Treat your judges kindly, but don't hesitate to be a manager. If one of your judges is not following the correct procedures, tell them what they should be doing. If the issue persists, call our office. We need to know what's happening at the polls, so we want you to be in communication with us for any issues. You'll need to arrange breaks throughout the day for your judges while making sure the poll is properly staffed at all times. If any of your judges tell you before Election Day that they can't work the election after all, or if they don't show up on Election Day morning, call our office as soon as possible so that we can assign a replacement if needed. Let us know as well if any judges have to leave during the day due to an emergency. Election Day, closing the polls. Poll closing is often the hardest part of the job of a supervisor. It's the end of the day, you're tired, you've worked nearly 15 hours, and everyone's ready to go home. If you take your time, follow the checklist, and call our office if you have any questions, you should be able to make it out of the poll at a decent time with your sanity intact. The poll closing checklist will tell you everything you need to know to pack up your polling place. To simplify the closing process, set aside a table for the blue bags and the red bag so that you can keep everything organized as you pack up. You'll put most of the important items inside one of these bags. The poll closing checklist will direct you how to fill out the poll closing certificate, which includes the totals from your equipment and the ballot totals. Once everything has been filled out, all judges must sign the poll closing certificate and the results tape that prints out from the DS200. Once you have completed all poll closing duties, all judges must leave the poll at the same time. Make sure all of your judges have a way home before you leave. Missouri law requires both supervisors to ride together in the same car to deliver the election results back to our office at the Boone County Government Center in downtown Columbia. You'll bring back the blue bags, which contain the ballots, and the red bag. The rest of your equipment, including the poll pads, the DS200, the express vote, and the other large signs and boxes, will be picked up by our delivery team the day after the election, so leave all of those in the polling place. Preparing for Election Day. We recommend all judges vote early before Election Day, which is called absentee voting in Missouri, since you may not be assigned to your home polling place, or your assignment may shift prior to Election Day. Absentee voting opens 6 weeks before Election Day and is available at our office, as well as at other locations we will announce in advance. As a judge, you cannot leave the polling place during your workday, so it's important to bring enough food and drinks with you for the entire day, as well as any medications you may need. Election Day is a long day, so make sure to wear comfortable clothes and shoes, and dress in layers in case your polling place becomes too cold or too hot. Your paycheck will be mailed to you after Election Day, so don't forget to fill out your payroll form at the polls. We want to make sure you get paid correctly and on time. We're so grateful to have you as supervisors, and we want you to know that you can always contact our office if you have any questions or need any help with your judges, your polling place, or the voters. See you on Election Day!